Hey guys, Steve here, South Central PA weather forecast. Let's talk about this upcoming event on Thursday into Friday. Um, Modeling has been adjusting, let's call it that. And pardon me as I look away at my other screen as I talk into this monitor. But modeling has been adjusting, which I had thought it would. And I don't know if you've watched my other videos, but if you didn't, the storm over the weekend was a situation where a cold front basically pushed the storm a little bit too far east. This situation that is occurring is looks like it's setting up where the front is actually going to work in our favor, but not for snow so much so, but um, possibly a pretty damaging ice storm. So I'm just going to go over this. We still have a lot of time to review and to consolidate on ideas, but as it stands right now, modeling and timing is kind of all over the place as to when a changeover or if a changeover will occur. But I'm going to go through these three models and then we're going to talk about the potential impacts. So this is the Canadian model, and this is for 7 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Still raining here is what this is showing. 3 hour. Now these are in 3 hour increments. This pink here is ice. And now this is 10 o'clock in the morning. So as I said, 3 hour increments. I'm not going to say the time, but watch how this goes along here. 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, and then ending Friday night. We're going to go to the GFS model, which is the American model. And we're going to go back here. Now, the GFS model has a little bit of the similar scenario, but a quicker changeover time. So this would be 7 o'clock on Thursday night. Notice how already freezing rain pretty much in parts of our area. This is going to be an expansive, widespread event. I mean, ranging all the way from Texas to the Northeast. So the impacts of this storm are going to be much more widespread felt than the blizzard that occurred just over the weekend. But we're going to go, once again, every 3 hours. All right, now this is 7 o'clock in the morning on Friday. So it has already been freezing rain for 12 hours. Now, what the GFS is showing is another wave of low pressure rides up this front. So that's what it's going to be. Basically, the front is going to be pushing from the northwest. And where exactly this boundary sets up, whether it be north, south of our area, is going to be what determines exactly what precipitation type we get and how much. And as it stands right now, it's setting up where this could be a crippling ice storm. Still got time. But now watch what the GFS does. It's still ice at 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday, but we start getting into these oranges, which means a changeover to more so sleet and frozen precipitation, the variety. And there could be snow mixing in, but we'll go another 3 hours, mixed precip, another 3 hours, mixed precip, and then this showing it ending as snow. The European model, which I haven't really looked at yet, but it's just in. And let's see what this says. Okay, European model is similar to the Canadian model, which is not showing a changeover as soon as it's GFS. That was 7 o'clock on Friday. Showing heavy rain. So if you recall, the GFS already had this frozen precip down into the Mason-Dixon line pretty much. But this is in 3 hour increments again. So the European model is the middle ground right now. It's basically showing a changeover between 1 and 4 a.m. on Friday. So this is frozen precipitation by freezing in the form of freezing rain. And then we're progressing every 3 hours. This is 7 o'clock in the morning on Friday, 10 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, looks like it's on the verge of changing over to sleet and snow. This is 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. And then it looks like ending as snow. Just want to touch on these because we're going to have to narrow these down as we get closer. But freezing rain, which particularly for tree limbs, power lines, colder surfaces, that's not good. That's a half inch of freezing rain to a quarter to a half inch of freezing rain on the European model. The GFS model, half inch to some parts to almost, this is a little bit further north, but that's an inch of freezing rain. Mason-Dixon line north, over a quarter to a half inch. And the Canadian model, 0.42 freezing rain, 0.20. Let's go to sleet. Canadian model, not really all that aggressive on the sleet totals down here in South Central PA. We'll go to the European, really not all that aggressive either. And the GFS, showing a lot more sleet. Look at this up here, Williamsport, 2.3 inches of sleet. That's a disaster, especially if you're a snowplow operator. Half inch of sleet down here, South Central PA, to an inch of sleet. And then let's do snow, see what they're showing on the snow. GFS isn't all that gung-ho about snow, half inch. Canadian, I don't think it's going to show any. Nope, didn't think so. It's up north with the snow. European model, more so with like 1 to 2 inches at the end of the event. So this is looking like the models are adjusting. The European model, actually back on Saturday, showed a pretty decent snowstorm over our region, 6 to 10 inches with this storm. It then backed off, went all the way north. GFS was pretty steady, showing that the boundary was going to press more, leading to a colder solution. And the question now becomes, do the models trend back towards that colder, snowier solution, which would be the best solution at this point in time? Because you would much rather want 4 to 8 inches of snow than an inch of freezing rain. That I can guarantee. But we're going to have to continue to watch this and monitor. My snowplow guys out there, this is going to be a long duration event, it looks like. As you know, freezing rain is a pain to deal with, particularly when you have this. Let's go back here. All right, so freezing rain around 32 isn't all that bad. But when you have a half inch of freezing rain with temperatures going from 32 down into the mid 20s, the lower that temperature is from 32, the quicker it accumulates. And salt only does so much to burn off freezing rain, and particularly sleet. So we'll continue to monitor. That's the video update for the day. How I see this playing out is I do see a colder, snowier solution evolving. The question is, how far south does it get? Is it a situation where it runs from, say, Pittsburgh to Scranton and then north? Or is it a situation where it runs from, say, Deep Creek Lake out in Maryland to Allentown in north? I think once you get south of the Mason-Dixon line, this really isn't any snow. But just a teaser, going to go back to the GFS now. GFS is then holding back a piece of energy so that after this event occurs on Friday, GFS is saying no rest for the weary. and then goes. Now this is throughout the course of the day. Saturday where it's dry, but notice this down here on Sunday. And this is a pretty decent storm for our area, as the GFS has it modeled right now. That is heavy snow, heavy snow, heavy snow. So 9 hours of heavy snow, moderate snow. Let's just go here so that you can see. See that? It's a pretty good storm. 7 to 12 inches. Is that going to come to fruition? I don't know at this point in time. The GFS has been steady on it, which is the American model. I do think the GFS has a better handle on this pattern than the European model. Last storm, it was the GFS coming to the European model. This storm, I think it's going to be more so the Canadian and European model coming to the GFS. European loves to hold energy back. I know that means nothing to you if you don't understand the weather, but without going into a whole bunch of detailed explanation, I do think that as we converge on solutions tomorrow in particular, we're going to see what happens. So thanks for viewing. As you need to know right now that the forecasts are changing, and they probably will continue to change for a more frozen variety event Thursday night into Saturday. And then again, we watch Sunday into Monday. Have yourself an awesome day, guys. Thanks for viewing. Please share.